Today we're going to be cleaning up some cultures, transferring agar to agar, and sending what's left to grain. While I was at my dad's for Christmas, I got a bunch of new gourmet strains, so I'm excited to try a bunch of these and send them to fruiting here soon. They all have been colonizing super strong, so I'm super excited to culture them out and get them ready to fruit. While I was there, we also designed and 3D printed this nice ketchup cup Petri dish holder, which works beautifully. I want to refine it a little bit more, but we'll probably be making our transfers today from these cultures. But here next, we'll go ahead and take a look at both the Petri dishes and these ketchup cups, see what seems the best for me to make transfers from. We'll take a closer look at this and see that all these dishes fit in here very nicely and don't move around. I want to make another iteration to add another row, as well as make these stackable. But as of now, they fit very nicely in a shoebox. I'm thinking that I can squeeze just one more row out of them, make these nice and stackable so you can put them in either shoeboxes or into big fruiting chambers. Let's go ahead and move over to the flow hood so we can take a look at our cultures. Now I've just turned on the flow hood. I'm gonna let this run for about 10 minutes while I'm getting everything set up, just to make sure any particulates that may have gotten in between my cover and the filter can run off of the workspace. I've only just started working with these Petri dishes. I have some nice reusable ones now. I still don't have any parafilm yet, so at first what I did is I used some Teflon tape as literally just an overnight on these non-inoculated dishes just to keep them covered. But then I actually just cut up some saran wrap into these nice little rolls, which is what these guys are wrapped with. We can go ahead and take a look at all of our dishes over here. We have our pearl oyster, which is looking very nice, heavily colonized, and one of the first ones that I want to fruit. These are all syringes from my father, who got them from Inoculate the World, and they're all really nice so far. This is going to be Pia Pino, which I will probably wait for that to colonize a little bit more. We have some blue oyster, which is super aggressively colonized, so I will take some transfers from that. We have some Enoki, which I'm super excited to grow. I'm thinking that this is Enoki, the very thin white ones. So yeah, I'll have to grow them in a high CO2 closed environment and hopefully get some nice, really tall fruits. This pink oyster is looking good. I don't think it's colonized enough to send to grain. I may just send it anyway. It's almost there. But I definitely do want to take a transfer from this to a bigger plate. Pink oyster as well. Looking very nice. And another pearl oyster. Check out this other side. Stocky, I'm not going to grow that right now. Pia Pino. Interesting growth on there. I don't know if you can really see it around that outside edge. Might be some form of contamination in there. Some Hen of the Woods, which is about the cleanest one I've gotten so far. All of them have been contaminated. I think I have another one in here. Perfect. Prime example. Yeah, you can see how heavily contaminated the surface of that is. Bacterial. No good. So that's going to be garbage. This lion's mane also, same thing. Got some mold. I'm not really sure what this kind of mold is specifically, but I know that my dad had quite a few dishes that got this same exact kind, and I've never seen this, so I'm going to make sure that this goes directly in the garbage. I don't want to deal with this here. Amanita muscaria culture, which is looking very nice. This is not from him, but from our last Amanita video. I really do have to get that MHB going. I'll work on that this week. And we have some turkey tail. I'll go ahead and make some transfers of this as well so I can get this growing. Now we're gonna go ahead and do our blue oyster. I'm excited to grow this. Let this cool down real quick. Go ahead and make our transfer. This mycelium is really fluffy. Really dense as well. Yeah, see, this place is super contaminated. Holy shit. This is the one that's got the same weird mold. Strange. I'm gonna go ahead and make a turkey tail transfer now. There is some contamination on one of these pink oyster dishes, but not the other, so we'll go ahead and toss this one. It's contaminated. We have this one nice, clean, and ready for a transfer, and that gives us I'm going to go ahead and work with the blue agar for these ones. These ones are a little bit fresher, so they're a little bit more wet. But it shouldn't be the end of the world anyway. Beautiful. That gives us 5 of these dishes. I'm gonna go ahead and set the turkey tail. Wait. No, I'm gonna set this pearl oyster and toss this just because it has that contamination. Everything else I'm gonna go ahead and spawn 2 grain just because I have some made jars that are ready to go. So we'll go ahead and get that. Get these all situated real quick. Let's start with this Enoki Taki. These transfers will be super easy. Oops. All I'll just have to do is check aboard our agar and toss it into here. It's gonna be super nice now that I'm working in front of a flow hood. So I don't really have to worry so much about contamination falling in like you do have in a still air box. So let this cool down for a minute. And we're just going to go ahead and throw this entire dish into the jar. Seal it back up. And shake to distribute. And we're good to label. Now we can rinse and repeat with our remaining grain jars and cultures. We're going to go ahead and do turkey tail next. Turkey tail mycelium is really nice and chunky. It likes to get pulled by the knife. It's really thick. Pink wing. Pink oyster next. Oh shit. That shit's jumping. Our third pink oyster done. And there we go. All of our jars are done. We can go ahead and move them to the incubation station. And there we have it. We made all of our agar-to-agar transfers to clean up our cultures to T2, or transfer 2. And we have our grain jars with our T1 agar dishes. We went ahead and some of the good ones we moved to grain to just go ahead and send some of them to fruiting. All of these genetics should be super strong and we should get some really good results with these. So I'm super excited. Here soon, I will need to take a look at all of the liquid culture I have and test all of their viability. I did take a CC about of each of all 11 of these syringes to move them to liquid culture, so we can go ahead and have some of those. Moving forward, once we have some good T2 or T3 genetics, we will be able to make some new liquid cultures, but if these T1 turn out well, then we can go ahead and send some of them to fruiting as well. It never hurts to have too many, especially since we can put them into long-term storage in the fridge to store for later. Let's go ahead and move these grain jars to the incubation chamber. As you can see, I have a ton of liquid cultures down in the bottom half of this incubation chamber that I really need to get around to testing the viability of. However, I'll probably just make that an entire separate video as I got all these grain jars done today. With those in incubation though, that does wrap up today's video. I hope that you enjoyed today's video or learned something along the way. With all these new gourmet genetics, I'm super excited to be able to get some really good fruits and hopefully do some nice cooking with them. Likewise, once I finally get some cordyceps, lion's mane, and turkey tail, I'll be able to make some medicinal tincture. I would like to get reishi as well, but I'm personally looking to forage it locally and just haven't been able to yet. I may just end up buying the culture online, but I would like to find a local source. Anyway, that wraps it up today, guys. Happy holidays to everyone, and thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you all have a wonderful end of the year. See you next time, Fungi Fanatics.